Hi, my name is Macy, and I'm a senior at the Miami Valley School, and I'm currently in a course called Fromm that focuses around Eric Fromm and his beliefs and ideas and teachings based on many of his published books that came from quite a long time ago, about 50 years. And please don't bite. Um, Anyways, so I just wanted to talk today basically about what I've learned in this class and kind of the ways that you can relate it to your everyday life. What we've been learning is actually really interesting to me. It's basically about relationships and the way you interact with one another, the way you interact with people that are your elders, people that are your children, people that are your, what are you doing? Best friends. Not only that, the way you interact with higher powers, if that's what you happen to believe in. Don't do that. Please stop. Higher powers, if that's what you believe in. Even things like your homework or your alarm clock, school, the way you address things in your everyday life. This is my dog, Bear. She's actually a bear. She's a puppy still, but she's bigger than I am. And you can't control her. I'm really sorry about this. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to talk today about the way you can relate this to your everyday life and the things you can do that will make it a little bit easier, kind of putting things into perspective for you. So there's one thing that we discussed, and I'm pretty sure we discussed it pretty briefly, but it really kind of stuck with me, and it's the way you relate to things. So the way you relate to people and different aspects of your life. So one thing that really resonated with me, because I am a student at the Miami Valley School, and I'm a senior, so it's a little bit harder for me to focus right now because I'm currently experiencing this thing called senioritis, so it's really difficult for me to sit down and get myself to do my homework every night, but I try to do that most nights. And one thing we were talking about in class is the way that students in particular relate to their homework. So there's a difference between sitting down to do your physics homework at night and thinking, oh, this sucks, I have to do physics. This is going to take so long. It's going to take 40 minutes, and it's going to be really painful, and it's stupid, and it's completely irrelevant to my life. And there are situations where it might be pretty irrelevant. I know, for example, we were discussing something in math class a few months ago, and we asked our teacher, we were like, how will this relate to my life later? And he literally couldn't give us an answer. But there are situations, please stop biting me, it hurts. There are situations where it does relate to your life. I took physics as a junior, so it isn't completely relevant right now, but there was a time we were learning about the way refrigerators work and how they work, how they keep your food cold and the reason they're important. And it was just a really, really interesting and exciting class to sit through and homework to do. So it's like when I went home, it was easy for me to do that homework. And this isn't really a great example, but if you think about things like history, and when I know it's painful sometimes, depending on the subject, what are you doing? To go home and sit down and read 50 minutes of history and try to pay attention and understand what's happening. But if you were to sit down and read your history and think about, like, honestly put yourself in the situation and think about the relationship that you have with that and how you can relate to it, it really, like, puts a different perspective on things. So if you are to think about, like, when you're reading about a war, think about that and how it could directly affect you. Or to put it in a different perspective, if you think about one thing that we were talking about really recently in this class is the idea of parents and children, and I can't directly say that I can relate because I'm not a parent, but I am a child, and I do have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old little sister, little sisters, And I went from being an only child at the age of 13 to having 3 siblings. And I also have a little brother, but he doesn't live here all the time. And anyways, I was, of course, stuck babysitting a lot of the time because I was a teenager, and parents typically like to go out to get away from the stresses of being with their children 24/7. But I was stuck babysitting, and there would be times where my little sister would just start irrationally screaming, and it's like to the point where you literally just want to like throw something at them or like put them in a different room because it's just so unmanageable, and you're just like, please stop crying, please, like I'll dance, I'll do something, please stop crying. But they don't stop. And we were talking about how a lot of parents, Jenna, dog, hi. We were talking about how there are situations where parents, new parents don't know how to relate to their child, so they don't know how to handle the situation. So there are a lot of times where parents turn to abuse. Like, you literally just want the kid to stop, so they like shake their children. It's just horrible situations. It's just awful. And we were talking about how parents don't know how to relate to their children because they don't know how to put themselves in the situation. And it was kind of the same thing with me when I was babysitting, because I would just be like, sorry, please stop screaming. But then over time I started to realize that it wasn't her fault. She didn't know what was happening, so it was kind of irrational for me to get mad. But anyways, my entire family just got home, so I kind of hope I got my point across. But thank you for watching.